Oh, it's so much fun. God, I love that.
I know. You should bring your boys down here.
Well, we were down, we went to Duck River. We just got home, and we caught a couple. And it's just so fun, you know?
So fun, yeah. He loved it.
That was a
What else
decent
is going on?
We were all impressed, just so you know.
Good, thanks. I'm glad to hear it. I'll tell him.
You know, not much. Just like working. That's about it.
Hey, you're involved in the basketball club?
Yes.
Now, so Max loves basketball, but really has played 1 year of Park and Rec 2 years ago. That's it. Do you think that they're doing I saw a thing from Sean McGuire that they're doing a third grade, just a little skills thing. Do you think that is appropriate for someone that hasn't really played much?
Oh, totally. Oh my God.
Okay.
Yes. He'll love it.
Okay.
And he should play Park and Rec though too, because at least I don't think that the skills one, the third grade one, they play games against anybody.
No, they don't. They're just it's just practice, I think, 2 nights a week. And I was thinking, Max has a conflict one of the nights, so he would only be able to go 1 night a week. So, yeah, I was definitely going to have him do both.
Yeah, and I can tell you this. So, you know, we didn't play in 5th grade, but we did in 4th. That's when we started.
Okay.
And the difference between, the kids that were seemingly good in 4th grade and the kids who maybe weren't as skilled in 4th, I had them play with this summer. We entered in a league. It almost flipped. So if you know, if they're so young, so he's gonna be. That's perfect for him. It's great.
Okay, because that's kind of where he is with soccer too. I feel so many of the kids his age started playing club soccer and just more serious than he was, and then COVID hit and he didn't play for a while, and I felt oh, I'm not going to have him do it because I feel everybody else is playing more than him. But then my mom was like, Miss, you can't not have him play. He'll never catch up. You know, just have him do it. He'll be great. And
totally.
So we signed up for
totally
indoor soccer
agree with your mom.
Okay.
I agree. Right. I agree with your mom. But I'll say this: I have those same feelings sometimes too as you. You're I don't want. You know, if all these kids have been playing this one sport their whole lives, you know, and we've never done it. But I will say this, and I speak from experience, these kids develop at such different ages. Missy, it's not, in 5 years from now, none of this will even be remotely the same. It'll all kind of work itself out.
Yeah, that's exactly what my mom said. She's I watched it happen with all of you guys.
Totally.
Don't worry about it. 'Cause, okay, that makes me feel I trust my mom so much, but it's also nice to hear it from someone else. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Because Max is really loves skiing and tennis. He's super into those. He's just not competitive. So the team sport, he has so much fun with the team sports, but he doesn't get that competitive aggressiveness some of the other kids. So I'm oh, you know, I don't want people to be mad at him or whatever. But it's I can't worry about that.
No, and you know what? He should play as many sports as he can.
Right.
I'm a big proponent of that too. You know, I would love my kids to play even more sports than they do, as opposed some kids just play soccer. You know, they don't play anything else.
Right.
To me, that's silly. God, let them figure out what they want to do and what they like. I used to love.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Sports, you know.
So, what do your kids play? Basketball and soccer. Do they play lacrosse?
So they did in 2019.
Okay.
And they had it last year, but neither of them wanted to play, which I was disappointed because I loved lacrosse. I loved it.
Right.
And I never played. So 2019 was the first time I had any experience even watching it. And it is such a great game. The kids are moving out there. They're talking. It was pretty awesome. I don't know. Will said this year he might want to play again in the spring, which I would be all for.
Okay. Do they play baseball though?
So Jameson plays baseball, and then Will's basketball and soccer for now.
Okay. Yes. Sorry we started a little late. There was a meeting in here, and they just cleared out.
No worries.
Excuse me?
Oh, I just said no worries. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do, everyone's got an agenda. Did you get an agenda?
I saw it online.
Okay. All right.
Okay, fine.
Oh, yeah, of
Sorry,
course.
online, but I need something to...
Yeah, okay, and so I'm gonna call the meeting to order. It looks like it's 6:06. And, first we're gonna take the, PRC attendance. Sitting at the table is, Mary Ellen, Glenn, John, myself, and Don Bugby. We understand that, Tim Gavin can't make it. Missy, did I hear you out there?
Yep, I'm here.
How about Brendan?
I am here.
All right, okay. So that's the attendance, and we are going to approve the previous meeting minutes. Does anyone have any questions or comments about the minutes? They look fine to me. Anybody? Additions? Okay, would somebody make a motion to approve last month's minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Anyone abstain? No. Okay. Being that we have the Kayak, Mike McGee from the Kayak group is here, and I would like to move him up in the agenda, and also if Mrs. Fuchs is out there about dock repair, we can move her up right before we get into the director's report and stuff. Can somebody make a motion to do that?
I'll make a motion to do that.
Okay.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? No. Abstain? No. Okay. So we'll spare you, Mike. Mike McGee from the Kayak group is here, and I would just like to say that from our last meeting, we agreed that was a good idea worth exploring, and we had a meeting we were met on Thursday the 7th, I believe it was, and not on that Sunday morning. Don Bugby, myself, John from Park and Rec were there, Mike and 5 or 6 other people were there, and Mrs. Fuchs from the Rowing Association were there. And we had a very nice talk, and we were standing by probably the area that would be best suited to have this kayak dock down by the docks that are currently there. And so we're gonna, Mike had one type of easy access platform for kayak that he was pushing last time. Mike, what do you got this time?
All
Come
right,
on up.
well, originally, I really liked Easy Dock. Our harbor master is a distributor. I'm sorry I don't have more paperwork on it. It's pretty...
Was that the one we saw last time? With the two sides?
Two sides.
And the bar on top?
You use your paddle as a bar.
Yeah.
To pull yourself
That's
up.
different. That's different than the one you showed us the last time. There was two
Well, that
platforms.
big driver had one. It really wasn't suitable for a municipality. It's more like a homeowner setup.
Okay, all right.
Pretty minimal.
Yeah.
This goes with Easy Dock's dock, and Easy Dock, I just found out, has a low-profile rowers type dock. It's set close to the water, and this will marry up to it.
Does Easy Dock connect the dock? The dock makes that?
No, this is by Easy Dock. That's
okay, all right.
They do
Now,
huge docks for military everybody.
So you push this and then you just push yourself out with your oar?
On, off. It's kind of like a V thing you float into.
Yeah.
It cradles the kayak. I like these a lot. You step through this opening to get onto the dock. Okay. And it's pretty simple.
So the kayak goes
right in here. You paddle up to it and you're on, or you're paddling off of it.
And it can connect very easily to the dock system we have.
Very easily. It connects to Easy Dock docks.
Okay.
Like these little dog bone shaped things.
Yeah, because that was one of the questions we had. Some of them seem to have to connect to a dock, or can you just connect it to the ground?
You need to connect it to a dock. With this, you need to connect to an an Easy Dock. You may be able to buy attachments that you would bolt to an existing fixed dock or floating dock, and then attach this to it. I'm not sure about that.
So we're still going to do a little more research on that. What's involved?
Well, what we had planned, what I got an estimate from two companies. There's 2 5x10 floating docks with a 6-foot ramp up onto them. So now you're out into the water 20, 22 feet or so.
Yeah.
And then this can be set parallel to on the side or on the end or on the other side. And you can change it. If it doesn't work out during the season,
I think what we said at that meeting when we had that Sunday morning is that we don't really want to add another big dock down there. Is some way we can connect it to the docks or just connect it to the land?
Well, you can connect the Yak port easily because it's the same company. That's connect to dock.
Oh, okay.
That would be very simple.
And what does that look like?
It looks like this. Here. This one I was able to print up some pictures. There's the second page with an overhead bar. Sorry, John. There's a lot of options for bars, grab bars, overhead bars, pull yourself on bars, pull yourself off bars, things like that. And that connects right up to Connect the Dock. It's the same company.
How do you
consider what the impact would be if you put these bars on this dock for anybody else who wants to use
I wasn't considering using the rowers' docks at all. We were planning, we had an estimate for 5 foot wide. We initially went for 5 sections, which is 18 3/4 feet out from shore, totally independent of the rowers' docks. My inclination was to put it on the eastern side of the beach, but these things you move, you take them in and out. So, if it didn't work out in one place and you need to move it because it's obstructing some sort of an activity, you could move it in an afternoon very easily.
So this Yak thing, I agree, you can move very easily.
No, the whole thing.
The connected dock.
The whole thing.
I'm pretty familiar with how you move connected docks, and we call the town and have them haul them out.
I'm pretty familiar with things myself. There's 2 little anchors down there which can be cinder blocks, basically. At the end, you pull that up, put it on the dock. 2 poles at the shore, you pull those out of the ground, push the thing in the water, and float it around wherever you want.
So, because I think when we talk too, we'd like to keep all the dock action where the docks are down there.
Totally up to you guys.
Yeah, and maybe just maneuver them in some way.
Cast in stone.
Oh, I know, yeah. In fact, a lot of people that we've talked to say they really like the idea of a safe.
I think we can get away with a 15-foot as opposed to the 18, just 4 sections out. I just want to check the water depth. I think it'll be plenty.
Well, you don't need much water to float it. You don't need much water to float.
No, you don't.
Yeah, well, how much do you need? Like 6 inches or 8 inches?
That's about it. That's right.
Yeah.
So you don't need much.
Yeah.
Remember that the height of the lake changes radically from day to day.
Not like the rivers, but yes.
But 6 inches in one spot today may be no inches or 18 inches tomorrow.
Well, it sounds like it's very easy to move, so I don't think that would be a problem at all. So this is what you're suggesting now?
When I went down and looked at the existing docks, I found out it was Connect the Dock, so I looked it up and contacted a representative here in Connecticut, which turns out to be the same people that supplied those docks.
Yeah.
And he had some ideas and gave me some information. And so we got an estimate from him. It's not as elegant as Easy Dock, but it certainly would work.
And what was the estimate like about?
They're both in the 10 grand, 9 to 10 grand range.
Okay, because your group said that you had some funds that you could donate to this.
We're going to pay for. We'll get the money.
Okay.
We're not asking you for any money.
Okay.
For the town.
Well, I think. Anybody else like to comment? This looks both possibilities look good.
I go with Yakport Connect the Dock because town crew has already dealt with them for years, so I figured they'd be familiar with it.
Yeah.
Now I understand there's a maintenance things are breaking down there, which I don't know if the town crew breaking things or if there's a cleat that fell off.
My husband can speak to it better than I probably, but the fundamental problem is that the Connect the Dock sections, we've had probably 4 or 5 incidences where they develop a leak.
Yeah.
So in that situation, we arrange a volunteer crew to extract that dock from the lake, turn it upside down, do some investigative work to figure out where the leak is.
Sure.
Then we weld it shut with a special plastic welding device, and then replace it back into the dock. So
now,
volunteer effort.
If we talk about the dock business later, excuse me, we're just looking at.
He was asking me about the use of the dock.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So volunteer crews from OLRA have done all of the maintenance work on the existing dock since they were installed in 2015. And it has been significant work. And I don't think that, while I'm fully supportive of bringing more activity to the lake and this project, if there are additional connected docks on the property, I would be hesitant to try and rally volunteer crews to maintain those.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we're not there yet, but we're looking at two types of systems here that may work, and I think what we're going to have to do is not only to get estimates on it, but then to have another meeting down by the lake when you make sure you know how you can make this work and what some of your ideas are. Because we also, when we looked at where the two existing docks are, if you could have one of these things right between the docks, that would work. Because
it's okay with me when they bring in I'm sorry to interrupt, but when they bring in the big round shelter trailer lines up with that, don't they go right into the water from there? Won't this be in the way of that? You would probably
so if you put a dock between the two existing docks, that would exclude any activity on the inside.
It sounds like it's made as far as rowing.
Inside for any aids.
So I'm not in favor.
How about on the side of one of the docks?
I think between the dock and the beach.
Yeah, well, that's the only problem I think we have with that is that the beach has gotten smaller and smaller because of the dock system that's there. Not only that, these were the widest docks you could get, so they were bigger than what used to be there. I believe they're 10 feet. Yeah. And what the town did agree to install was 10 foot by 60 foot docks there. And we'll talk more about the docks later. But
we were planning on a 5 foot wide.
Yeah.
To really take up.
But anyway, no, this looks good. I mean, and I think what we do is, are you going to get more information on this, or you got enough?
I'd like to get more information on what's gone wrong and why it's gone wrong. It sounds like the pulling in and out.
This guy is your man right here.
Yeah.
Raiding the bottom.
Yeah.
No, it has nothing to do with the bottom.
Yeah. So can we talk about the docks later? But because. I'm a little disappointed when I hear what happened to these docks, because I was on the committee.
I am.
And I heard that these were the best docks, and the fact that there's springing leaks every...
What are they, 10, 12 years old?
No, 5 or 6.
Years old, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll talk about the docks in a minute. Mike, this looks very good. Do you want to... What we'll do is maybe you'll get... We're not going to do this until the spring. So,
well, our group would like to buy them before the first of the year because there's a price increase like everything else of about probably 7%.
So I would like to suggest that if this project is going to include adding another dock to the park, that we do this in the context of a plan for the park and that we understand...
Okay, excuse me, that's enough, okay? We have a plan for what we're doing. We're going to make a plan for how this would work, okay? But we do not have that plan as of this time.
That's correct.
And we will figure it out, okay? And we will keep... And anybody that wants to come down and talk to you or us about it, we're not going to have a meeting just to talk about something as simple as this that we've already heard from many people after our last meeting thought this was a great idea. Now, the only thing is where will we put it? Okay.
And like I said, we can adjust.
And we can figure that out. Okay. All right, Mike, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you, and let's, I'm going away for 2.5 weeks, but sometime after that, maybe we can get together again down there.
Perfect.
We'll arrange something to meet down there and talk about possibilities, okay?
Excellent.
All right, anything else you got? Anybody else have any questions? Oh,
okay.
Okay, Mrs. Fuchs, you weren't here, but we bumped you up now to go after Mike, so you don't have to sit through the rest of our meeting, okay?
So we're moving the dock conversation to now?
What?
We're moving the dock agenda, part of the agenda to now?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a meeting down at the site again, take a look at what, now that we have a different system that he had the last time, and see what may work, okay? Now, the next thing is dock repair, okay? And Candace, I was a little concerned when I heard about all these docks springing leaks, because I was told on the committee that these were the best docks available. And it seems that if they're always breaking or I mean, we paid almost $40,000 for these docks. Yeah, okay, it was $39,550, and the fact that they seem to be splitting for whatever reason, does it have something to do, guys, with pulling them out all at once? Yeah, because
the places where they are leaking is not on the bottom face where they would be on the ground. It's actually up in the pockets. That's almost all the leaks that we found, except for one where they hadn't closed a hole, have been not where they've been sliding on the ground.
So does that mean like rainwater gets in? Rainwater would get in? You said it's up top.
There's never been a hole in the top.
Oh.
Never been in the top. And I would only, as much as that's making me crazy that these are, leaking, they have been really good on warranty. I mean,
they have been really good on what?
They're replacing this dock section. They've replaced at least two others at just cost for delivery.
Do they have any explanation as to why it?
And they always ask us, so where did you find it? They're like surprised that we found the leak.
But I don't.
Have
you talked to other people that have this dock system? That are they having the same problems? Because if every year you got to replace a section, that gets quite costly.
Yeah, no, I understand. I know of some people that have problems, but I haven't heard of proliferation of issues with these docks.
Yeah, because when I heard what was going on with these docks, I was very disappointed, because being on that committee, we thought we were getting the best docks available, and the fact that there were springing leaks one a season or one every couple of seasons is not good.
We agree.
Yeah, but I can't agree with you anymore. I'm the one with Paul James Twitcho. We're the ones that go down and fix them.
Yeah.
We don't want the problem either. We want the problem.
Yeah, so.
The pattern has been that we mend the leaking dock, and Connected Dock has supplied us with a new one. So there has not been cost involved, except for the delivery cost and the equity of public cost.
Yeah, well, the
I just want to make sure that you understand the cost. And
here's what I also want to do. Anyone on town was not aware of what was going on with all these problems, right, Don? Were you aware of it?
I knew they had some dock leakage. I was unaware of how many.
And this is what, from the process from now on, is anything that goes on with the docks, those are town docks, and you have to put this guy into the loop. And then he'll get our facilities director in there, and we'll bill things directly to the town. But to have an outside group doing this and billing the town, it's not the way it works.
We're not billing the town anything.
Well, your $600, you want the $600 for the shipping?
This is the first time we've asked for anything.
That's for the shipping.
Shipping.
Well, I think the town should pay for this.
And that's why we submitted the bill.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I think there's been a fundamental problem of communication, that anything that takes place at any of the parks, the people from the organizations that want to use these parks are supposed to contact Don Bugbee first, okay? And then Don will either come up with a solution or get the facilities director involved, and the last step would be for us to be involved. So hopefully a lot of these things are just common sense and easy to take care of.
So Bob, we're happy to notify Don when we're fixing a dock.
Yeah.
I think it could be.
And we appreciate the volunteer effort also.
Thank you. Thank you very much for expressing your appreciation.
So It's just, I think, going forward, anything that has to be done with docks, it goes through Don and then through the town, and the town will be, make the check and pay this off, okay? Now, this $600 and something one, you want the town to pay for it, I assume. And I spoke to the director of finance, and on this, we can't use these funds on it because it's not an enhancement. It's a repair job, a maintenance job. So we do have other parts of the budget we could put towards maintenance.
Well, we have a line item for repairs and maintenance, and there's nothing specific, obviously, lowered in there up front, but that's where we get it.
Yeah, so we'll talk to the finance director to make sure is that we can get this to pay this, and that I guess in the information you gave us, because we'll pay directly to this company, right?
That would be very convenient.
Yeah, we'll pay that directly to to connect the dock. It's all on here, Regatta Dock System, yeah. We have the address. So, I think is that we'll look into paying this bill for the transportation.
Talk to Nicole tomorrow morning and say we'll pay that invoice and I'll charge it to.
Yeah, is that the consensus of the Parks and Rec commissioners? That sure, because they're town docks, and we greatly appreciate the efforts, the volunteer efforts to fix these docks. Okay, it's salvageable rather than just throwing them away. But then we get to the next point. We noticed when we went out there that the town had agreed on 2 10-by-60-foot docks. Now they're 7.5 foot long, 10 feet wide each section, and the one section closest to the beach has a 10-by-60-foot dock. But then we noticed that the other dock has been extended an extra 15 feet. Did you know anything about when that was taking place other than when we saw it took place?
Not specifically, no.
This is another thing that we would appreciate if you guys would put him in the loop, okay, as to what you plan to do, and see whether or not it's agreeable. Because you just can't be inside the boathouse. You can do whatever you want, okay, because that's what the school. Outside the boathouse, everything is town property, and the town picks up the tabs. So everything must go through him initially.
Sure. Just so you know, that's the repair section. When they replaced a piece and we had repaired one, we stuck it on the end of the dock. We didn't buy any new stuff. It was things that we had, and we will make sure Don's aware as well.
Yeah, in fact, the one that you did extend, it almost comes out to the same, because the ground is farther away, so it comes out about the same as the other one. And maybe that's not so bad, but just to continue to extend these docks, especially one by the beach, we've heard complaints from neighbors that seems that every few years it seems that the Rowing Association is taking more of the park away. And just the size of these docks alone, I wasn't aware that we got the widest docks. I mean, so these are the biggest docks you can get, right, for rowing. I mean, the ones preferred by rowers. So 60 feet is plenty long enough. And like I said, what you can probably have is the ones you repair, store them somewhere between the woods and the boathouse or somewhere, so you have ones you can replace right away. And but to be extending them without approval of him or Park and Rec or the town, you got to talk to us about it. You just can't do it on your own. So anybody else John, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I have some questions.
Yeah.
Back to the kayak thing, I don't understand. So you have the two docks like this, and you use the middle section. I'm not questioning it. I just I don't understand how it works.
If boats with oars that extend out beyond the gunnels come in to the side of the dock that's internal there, the oars stick out.
Oh, I see what you mean. So you need how long?
You need some space there, and I would be concerned.
No, I see what you mean. I didn't think of that.
In the middle, that you would prohibit any boats from using the inside sides of those docks.
Well, how about the side, the side next to the woods and the side next to the beach?
So the outside sides are fine, but if we're running a Learn to Row program where we're trying to launch, or we're running Lionel High School and we're trying to launch a bunch of 8s, and they're all kids that need to get out on the water at 2 o'clock so they can be in by 6 o'clock, because we know they have to be out the water by 6 o'clock.
See, I'm not questioning. I just didn't understand.
Yeah, no, when we launched it, if you were down there, you'd see that both sides of both docks are full of boats.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. As soon as you mentioned the length of the oars, I was thinking in terms you put the boat there and go out, but obviously you need space to.
Yeah, this way the oars aren't sticking over into the boat.
Well, this is why we'll get together with Mike and some of his people, you guys, and talk about possibilities of how this may all work. I think everybody has to remember that park is a shared park. So that, and you guys have been pretty good. You've improved a lot from the days of total chaos out there. If we continue to communicate, we can get it done so that kayakers can have access, rowers have access, people use the facility maybe even more, which is what we would like to see. We would like to see. We heard from the kayakers, the older people especially have a problem getting in and out of kayaks. But John and I said, even when we were younger, it was still hard to get in and out of kayak. But anyway, if everyone just communicates and goes through Don Bugbee, if we have to get the facilities director involved, we'll get him involved. And then we'll take care of whatever the cost is. But the town, if you're not a town employee or town commission, you can't be charging the town for things that you think you should do, unless we all agree.
You know what? Overall, our issue, we've just picked it up like we have the other times. It would have been much easier.
What would have been easier?
No, not right now. We understand, so it's good.
Yeah, we understand now, do we? I mean, everything that's done outside that building that's out of the ordinary has to go through the Park and Rec director. And he has not heard that communication on several fronts in the past, and we just wanted to see it improved. And for instance, Paul, you may be interested in that. The only reason I put down I hope it all worked out well. We'll go over that part too about the ERG testing. I believe it was on Monday. But that's the other thing we also hear from members of the community that you just can't take over the basketball court. If one kid comes there and wants to play basketball, he's not going to tell 30 people or 40 people to get off the basketball court. That's for basketball. But if there are special circumstances that you require for more accurate testing or something, that can be worked out through Don, like we did on that one. Okay? And anybody else want to have any suggestions? So I think what we'll do is maybe, probably not maybe right before our next meeting in December, we'll go down there and have talk about possibilities of how we can make all this work.
That would be great.
Yeah, because I'm going away.
I hope you'll bring your plans of the park so we can consider it.
We have, the plans are very simple. We put in the parking lot where we said in 2015 we had a plan. I know it's changed a little bit with the bathroom situation and all, but we ordered put a down payment on a pavilion, and we're going to put it in a position close to the parking lot and also close to the restroom, because we're going to have handicap accessible tables. That was always the plan, to put it right in there. We've explored some spots. We're still exploring spots, and the facilities director, Don, myself, and John were down there, and when we establish exactly where it's going to be, we'll stake it out and let everybody go down there and take a look. We're not going to have a town meeting to talk about something that's been discussed for years and years about putting the pavilion in there. And that's obviously the most logical spot to put it is by the handicap accessible bathrooms. And I don't know why that would even affect you guys and why you don't like that idea, because it's nowhere even near the boathouse.
Let me be perfectly clear.
Yeah.
I do not have an opinion about the pavilion. I don't see how anybody can have an opinion about the pavilion. We don't have any idea what it's going to look like, whether the community wants it, where it's located, how big it is. I personally, in the absence of all that information, I am unable to come to an opinion as to whether
well, we can provide pictures. It's been on we have on our Park and Rec minutes, I believe, we put the quote for the pavilion and also a couple pictures of different types and then yeah. So
that you refer me back to the minutes. October.
Huh?
They don't take them in minutes.
Excuse me, wait,
They don't, you can only, when you submit minutes, they only want minutes.
Oh, okay.
You can't, they won't even take PDFs on the website, so. No.
Yeah.
I tried, but we have, I mean, we can post them on the Park and Rec website.
And I have to say, the pavilion has been discussed numerous times over the years, and in fact, even in which we also appreciated, the fundraising that took place, says it right in there. So I don't know what is it that you complain about? I mean,
the thing that you previously in your minutes you said we hope we don't have to get wetland approval. The last place I saw you put or talk about was definitely in the wetland.
That's not, Paul. You're wrong. Okay,
I have pictures of it completely flooded in the rain.
No, there's a 100-foot setback from the lake. If you put it right parallel to where the restroom was, that's not in that setback, and it's not in a setback from the street. It's the perfect spot. It's almost right where the bathroom used to be.
Okay, that's different than when I was speaking with Don down there one day, and it was between the tree and the lake. And so I'm much happier with what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, and we've already looked at that. We've had the facilities director look at it. It should not. Of course, we'll eventually go to zoning just to make sure they're okay with it. But where that is, where we just described, kind of close to where the bathroom was, the old bathroom, that is not a problem. Now, the 7 inches of rain that came down that one day, 24-hour period, I think that's
where the old bathroom was is not what I'm talking. It wasn't flooded there.
Okay. And that was, of course.
Last time I talked about it with Don, who you had been smoking on it very closely.
Okay.
I think this conversation points out that there isn't clear information that the public can understand about where this pavilion is supposed to be located.
Like I said, there will be when it's staked out, and we can have pamphlets out with what it's going to look like. People will be able to go down there. We're not going to pay a company like, what is it, BSC or BCS, that made numerous mistakes on the boathouse project, and we're not going to pay them $1,000 to make a pretty diagram just to show that this is where it's going to go. People who are interested can go down and see where it's going to be staked out. We could have some handouts there.
All these meetings that you list, you say that there's going to be a time when it's going to be staked out and people are going to have an opportunity.
And they will.
And this has been going, as you point out in your letter, since 2016, and there still is no clarity
2015, actually.
about what the size or location of this project is.
We just met the other day with the
facilities director,
Phil, and we picked out a potential location, and he was going to have it all staked out.
Yeah.
So once it's staked out, then we can take a look, and it meets the setbacks.
Please let us know, because we're not always hanging out down there, and we don't always know what.
And John,
we'll let other people know as well.
Yeah, right. We pass it around. I mean, I obviously I know a lot of people don't read minutes or are interested in a lot of these things.
Minutes to read
Okay, that's enough of that. I remember those boathouse minutes. But anyway, I think the biggest concern here too is what's Connect the dock gonna do after 8 years of this warranty? If you're getting springing leaks they have to have some sort of fix. I mean, they just can't let this go on. No one seems to know. Are you guys the only ones? Your docks are the only ones having this problem? I mean...
Like I said, I know that some other docks are having these problems. I don't know that
I remember suggesting to get the best docks that you guys recommended, but you guys have said this was the best docks, but boy, if they're springing leaks all the time, we're going to have to put another dock system out there eventually if they continue to leak all the time. I don't know. I just hope it's just bad luck.
Today we've been able to keep up with it. I mean, and to the credit of the people who've been maintaining it.
I agree, because it's not your fault they're leaking.
Nobody's really even noticed that there were problems because so I think that right now it's a problem looking for a problem.
We're getting awfully good at figuring out how to fix it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. And we, like I said, we appreciate all the volunteer efforts and this and that. And I was very happy to hear the Kayak people are going to donate whatever that system eventually is going to be. And because, we Park and Rec, we all volunteer our time. We're looking for people to volunteer to do good things to help the community be a better community. So, having said that, anybody else want to say anything about any of that?
Yeah, when we do the Kayak thing or however we figure that out, I definitely think you should be involved, because if you asked me before the meeting, I would have thought you could go inside because I was ignorant of how you operated your shelves out of there.
Right.
So I think it's a good idea that we all work together on this so no one gets impacted.
And that's why I was glad that you came down for that initial meeting because it's still not cast in stone exactly what's going to go there, but hopefully it'll be something that's agreeable to all parties.
Thank you very much. It was, you may have noticed I was unable to drive at that time. So it was a little bit of a trick for me to figure out how to get there on time.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you showed up, okay? And when we'll have another meeting probably after Thanksgiving, I guess, because then we get back a couple of days before Thanksgiving, and then before our next meeting, we could probably meet down here again about possibilities for that.
Right, and it's obviously you have to be involved because there's no way for someone like myself. I don't know exactly how the operations work.
And plus, we want to make sure that if we're sharing the docks, everybody is comfortable with how we're sharing them. Okay.
We're all about sharing the docks. I mean, we created a system to keep the goose off the dock so that it was free of species.
And they stopped because I noticed most of the flags are all gone. Where'd the flags go?
Geese are gone, so we don't need.
So we haven't done it anymore. We haven't put it back up.
Oh, you took them out, all the flags?
Yes, we were just not putting them up anymore because the geese have not. They're going somewhere else.
Oh,
yeah. Notice I saw that we were taking down the flag system.
Yeah. But the geese are always going to be a problem here. There's no doubt about it. And
I seriously consider putting up those little flagpoles along the shore during the period of time with the flags on them, because maybe the geese won't be, if they can't come out of the water and into the water, that might stop them from being on.
Yeah, I don't know. That's maybe, but
it works.
Well, how about a kid? Would a kid just pick them up and?
All I'm saying is, if it works on the dock, you might try it. It's that.
Yeah, when they used to use coyote things that look like coyotes, and they don't work. I mean, it's a problem everybody has. Okay, anything else on that? Are we good?
Good.
Okay, so like I said, please, anything that you have any questions about or concerns or want to do things there, contact Don, initial contact, and we'll find out where we'll get the money to pay the $600, and we'll send the check directly to this company, right? Okay, all right. Now, we're going to go back to the regular schedule. Any more comments? Okay, all right, so we're at the director's report. Okay, thanks for showing up, you guys. Yeah.
We were interested in using the park well. Obviously, we, do our best to keep the conditions. Let Don know whenever the kids are throwing bottles around down there.
Yeah. Well, he's the guy. He's the point man.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to the director's report.
Okay. I'm going to read the director's report once. I'm not going to talk about something 18 times like we just went through. Okay.
Jeez.
Problem. All right, fall youth soccer was supposed to be over last weekend, October 30th, but I canceled it that day because of the rain we had, and I extended the season 1 week, so we will end soccer this Saturday, November 6th. Overall, I thought the season went very well. I received many compliments on the program throughout the season, and thanks and appreciation goes out to the players, the coaches, parents, family members, our high school referees for their contributions to make the program work. Adult basketball has not started yet. As I previously reported, there was some reluctance and discussion about wearing masks inside the school, so I have not signed them up for that yet because I don't want any situations with that. But I've tried to see the superintendent the last couple of days. I was unable to do that. There has been CIAC mask wearing requirement changes that have been distributed lately that apply to high school basketball. So I will be meeting with the superintendent soon to discuss this to see how it plays into adult basketball as well. Yoga classes have started or have been scheduled again. The sessions will be held at Mile Creek School on Wednesdays from 3:45 to 4:45 p.m. in the library. We have 2 sessions booked right now. Session 1 for 5 weeks, starting next Wednesday, November 10th, the 17th, December 1, 8, and 15. There'll be a $50 fee for that and a drop-in fee of $15. Session 2 is going to go for 6 weeks, starting in January 12th to running through February 16th, 2022. Fee will be, again, $10 per session, $60 for a drop-in fee of $15. We have not scheduled anything past February yet, because we might have to do something different with the instructor who might be unavailable. Youth basketball, I expected to have sign-ups starting already, but I delayed it. Sign-ups are expected to now start November 8th and go through December 3rd. The tentative coaches meeting will still be Saturday, December 11th, and the season will run on Saturdays, January 8th through February 26th. Again, I'm going to go over updated mask requirements and stuff with the superintendent. Adult volleyball, we've had a lot of preliminary discussions, and additional discussions are scheduled for tomorrow with a person who's going to help me with that, so I'll update you as we go. This is a reminder, we have 2 community athletic solution camps scheduled under contract for next July and August. On to the facilities. White Sand Beach, water has been turned off and the bathrooms are closed for the season this past Monday, November 1st. And that is the longest we've ever had the bathrooms open down there, by far. Crossland Park, the Little League fields are still being used a great deal. Their season is expected to wrap up this Saturday, November 6th. I spoke to the Little League president tonight. Water will be turned off and the building will be closed after that, early next week. Irrigation system has been drained off for the season, and the 2 yard hydrants by the baseball dugouts that needed replacement, that job was done last week. Real quickly, with not much discussion today at Crossland Park, the Little League president wanted to talk to us about the possibility and the process for installing lights at Crossland softball and Little League fields. Apparently they have some people who are donating lights, and they want to talk about how that process works and where they should go from there.
Did you say the president of the Little League approached you?
Yes.
So they would donate and install lights?
Well, I don't think, the lights are being donated or provided at a extreme discount, something that they'd really like to jump on. But they, are they allowed, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know what the process is.
Zoning, that would be zoning, Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, that'd be everybody.
So it should be the Little League folks that do that stuff?
Yes. Well, someone's got to make the case.
Right.
I would think they would go and.
Well, and I think we would make a recommendation too if we thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
First, I mean, that would be
Crossland?
at Crossland.
Right, yes.
I'm sure.
Town Woods, it was discussed during construction, and that would never happen.
No, that wasn't going to happen. In fact, they even wanted we met with Bonnie and Don, myself, and somebody from the soccer. They wanted to bring a generator and run lights there. Well,
I'm surprised the school's putting them in.
Yeah,
Well, they haven't yet, but.
Yeah, so that process would first require them.
Should the Little League folks come here first, or should they just head to zoning?
What do you think, John? You've worked in this town.
Well, they'd have to go to zoning no matter what and talk to them. They could talk to us, but I'm not going to make a decision personally until you hear about from zoning. But it's going to be a big issue.
Yeah, so they better at least have preliminary.
Because you're going to have all the neighbors involved.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of the actual structures.
Right.
It's the matter of actually using.
And I think Park and Rec has taken a stand. It wouldn't be the first time. We took a stand that we were not in favor of lights down at Town Woods Park.
Correct.
And so, being that we've already said that, I unless there's a different viewpoint these days, I don't think we'd have to have a vote on it or something, but I don't think we would.
I mean, you would think it would come to us first, because it's a town.
Yeah, it's our property, but.
The softball field is that, we own that too, right, that property, or is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have lights there for kids that are 12 and under, right, that play on those fields?
Is it really the need? Because I thought baseball basically and softball had less and less kids that were playing.
But they're little kids. How often do they play at night?
at nighttime, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it's happening more and more around the area.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Old Lyme, our particular program. It might be happening in other places in town.
I can have him come to the December meeting if you'd like to talk about it.
Yeah, it probably makes sense to.
I just think they would have to come here first.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If they want to come to the December meeting, then
just to talk about it. And
we could talk about it.
Okay.
Find out if they want to come.
But I would think as a taxpayer, I'd be saying, why would you put lights down there and not at the Townwoods Park?
Well, because when
people aren't going to remember that we made those decisions.
At Townwoods Park, before there was a piece of equipment touched the grass there.
I know.
It had spent a year going through all of the motions, and we promised the neighbors there that there would never be lights.
We know that, but we know that.
No, right.
But anyone else now would think.
You may want to tell the baseball people that we've already made a decision that was not favorable for that.
Yeah.
And that, however, if they wanted to come to our next meeting, they can come.
I think they'd have to.
We'll take that approach. I'll talk to them.
Yeah, and you just say we already went through this one time.
Okay.
It's not favorable, but if they want to come, they're welcome to come.
All right. Okay. Haynes Park. Obviously, the park was active, very active all summer and still into the fall with rowing programs. There is still an action item we had from the last meeting, no decision needed tonight. I had requested that the commission should discuss the need for lifeguards going forward at Haynes Park. So we have to get that done over the winter.
Don, I know it was tough finding lifeguards, but do you think with the COVID thing lessening, the impact that a lot of people couldn't even get trained during the winter, right, for their certificates?
a year ago, so.
Yeah, but will that be a problem again this year coming up, or?
They were able to get certified for this past season.
Yeah. But how long does the certification take? I mean, how long do you have once you get certified? A couple of years, or?
3 years.
2?
3.
3?
I believe it's 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you didn't have lifeguards because no one wanted to do it?
I think that's a big part of it.
I mean,
it's expensive to get certified, but, we're generous and we pay for their certification.
Right.
Reimburse them. I don't think anybody else does that. And I have, I've always had plenty of lifeguards, and this season we were short, and I had to make decisions, and I had to put them at White Sand Beach, predominantly over Haynes Park.
Right.
And I've always thought that with the size of the swim area and the crowd that's there type of thing, were they really even needed there?
What's the average depth generally during the season out at the outer limits?
Out by the lines, it's tall. You'll go under.
Okay, so it's real water.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's what now? What'd you say?
Out by the end of the farthest swim line, it's over.
Over their heads.
Yes.
Over their kids' heads.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I was curious. I didn't know.
Yeah,
the crowd that's going there is predominantly little tiny kids. I don't know. It's nothing like White Sand Beach.
I know. Yeah. Of course, that was the priority.
Right.
To have lifeguards there. The other thing I want to ask you is, do you think because it's predominantly little kids and this and that, is the person that checks for the parking passes, could they just be there just as an emergency contact and to call 911?
That's what they do that. Well, they would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you could
what about insurance reasons? Are we supposed to provide a lifeguard? Is it par?
Nobody says you have to.
You can always say swim at your own risk.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that anymore. With the Kerma guys, you cannot. Well, you can say it, but you're liable by acknowledging that there's a risk.
Brendan, did you hear that?
I'm listening.
Yeah.
So the lifeguard, it just says lifeguard off duty.
Okay. Yeah, you may want to. If we can't get lifeguards, we may want to find out whether or not the town is risking anything by not having a lifeguard there.
I mean, if I get them, I can get them. I'm just, talking about the situation that we've had and the way I feel it's going, and less and less kids want to do that job.
Which is amazing to me. I mean, it's such a great job. I'm amazed that there's a shortage there. My goodness.
Yeah.
We need some Baywatch reruns.
Part of the reason is the complaints about them. They could be sitting there perfectly normal, and people will complain that they're not doing something, or they looked away from the water. It's just, it's ridiculous.
That's unacceptable.
That makes sense.
But
anyways, okay, so we'll talk about it over the winter.
Yeah, okay. If you could get the lifeguards, I think it would be a good idea. But if you can't, we're just going to have to be flexible.
The bathrooms are still open there and are being cleaned daily. Expecting to close them soon. I have to discuss it with the facilities director as how we're going to close those down, because we have 800 gallons of water there as storage, and I don't know exactly how they want to shut that system down. Whether they drain it, or there is a heater in the building downstairs, if that's going to work or not, or leaving the water there over the winter. That's how you get bacteria and stuff. So, because 800 gallons of water that you got to buy next spring when you fill it back up. That'd be the first.
Because the pump itself wouldn't.
Right. The reason for the 800 gallons is to put it in there to get a jump start and everything, and to maintain it.
Yeah, but if there's a possibility of the water freezing, it could cause a lot of damage.
That's true, but there's heaters in there. I think there's more of a possibility of a problem with bacteria with the water sitting there.
Yeah.
So the facilities directors, we've talked about it. We have not come to a decision yet, so I'll make that happen.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say that's his decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The yard hydrant next to the boathouse was replaced last week as well. The window that I reported broken on the bathroom building is still up for replacement. We're waiting till it's all back ordered. On to Townwoods Park. Soccer season should be wrapping up this weekend. I will be talking with the soccer club tomorrow, see if there's any makeup stuff from last weekend. All the goals and benches will be removed from the fields and stored in the parking lot as normal. We overseeded twice this fall versus usually once. We overseeded earlier in October. There will be additional overseeding and aeration will be done next week after everything's removed from the fields. Irrigation system has been drained for the season. We do have some problems with that. We decided that we drain it off this year and the repairs will be made in the spring once we fire it up.
What happened with the spots that grubs may have attacked?
We've repaired a lot of those.
By just overseeding?
Yep.
And the grubs aren't there? Or weren't there?
I'm not sure. I think they were, but it wasn't. I don't think it was turning that big of a deal.
Oh, okay.
Just the overseeding helped it out a lot.
Okay.
The water will be turned off next week, and the building will be closed. The food share garden is still going. Work's continuing on site. They're there quite often. And as previously discussed, the broken windows in the building are scheduled for replacement, and the parts have been ordered, but they're on back order. And the repairs to the flagpole were finally completed today. And that's it.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Tom?
No,
Comments?
you can send that document.
I can give you that. Oh, you want me to send it to you, email, electronic?
Yeah, electronic.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Don.
Okay. Anybody, Missy or Brendan, do you have anything to say?
No, nothing from me.
Me neither.
Okay. You know, we would really love it if you guys would come to a few of these meetings, but
We miss you.
yeah, and we're all spread out. I know time constraints fit into why you can't make it, but we would like to see you again at some point.
Well, just so you know, Bob, just on my end, probably next month I'll be able to. I'm coaching 2 youth teams now, and like my whole week is basically with other people's children. So it's just hard. So, but I go down to 1 next month.
No, that's good, Brendan. But well, just as a compliment to you guys, we miss.
Oh, hello.
It just ended the call. You believe that?
The call just ended?
Yeah.
I'm back.
We're still here.
You're back. Oh, you're back? Okay, it said ended the call. Okay. All right. Let's move on then. The status of the agreement for the path from 176 Boston Post Road. Since our last meeting, there are 5 LLC members, and 2 weeks ago or something, the last one finally signed on to the document. So we're all done with that, and I hope all that works out well. It should work out well. Anybody? No, want to say anything?
There's 5 LLC members.
Yeah, they lost one of their members. Didn't want to continue.
Okay.
Because I see now that they're also putting up that storage garage for their skulls.
Yeah.
Okay. The kayaks at Haynes Park, we already went over that with Mike McGee. Security cameras for Haynes Park, Phil, we had met with Phil last week, and he had gotten another estimate from a firm in East Lyme, and there are little differences. The money differences weren't that significant. It's more the technology differences he was talking about, and he is going to make a recommendation for who we should go with. Correct, Don?
That's correct.
Yeah. So once he makes that recommendation, we'd like to have those cameras installed as soon as possible. And we probably take that money out of the money that we got for various improvements to the park. Because unfortunately, that should have been included in the bathroom project, but there was I don't know if there were sufficient funds or why it wasn't done, but okay. Anybody? everybody is good, the consensus, everybody wants security cameras there, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since it's been vandalized already since we opened up. But the type of cameras that'll do sweeps, so it'll get more than just the bathroom area. It will get the front of the boathouse, it will get the pavilion, it would sweep over towards the driveway. So we would have a fair amount of park covered then. Yeah. Okay, the next one is the Kayak regatta that they had on 10/16. I happened to go by one time that day, and it seemed like everybody was having a good time, and it wasn't too overcrowded or anything. And so, anybody else hear anything about it? It looked like it went off pretty good, and everybody had a good time. Anybody?
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear any complaints or anything, and so I'm glad they had a nice day too in October. Okay, we went over the basketball court for ERG testing. Mr. Fuchs has told us he will contact you, Don, when anything out of the ordinary is requested. And it was made clear again that we don't want rowers on the basketball court, even if just one kid wants to come there and play basketball. If he sees 30 or 40 kids, the kid's going to go home and tell his parents that he can't go.
Nowhere to play. Right.
Nowhere to play, yeah. So I hope I hope all that sinks in. But anyway, okay, next one. Anybody want to say anything else before we move on to the assistant for the director of Parks and Recreation, part-time assistant? I sent around a comparison that I presented at the selectmen's meeting, when was it, 2 weeks ago, showing that Don Bugby is basically responsible as a one-man band for 10,000 people in Old Lyme and Lyme, because Lyme does not have a person to assist in any way, that it was clearly a need, and on that list were the various other communities in here, and the only one that even came close to having this type of responsibilities were 6,600 in Clinton. There's a director and a clerk, and basically the way that the table looks is if there are 2 staff members, you divide the 2 into their population of 13,200, which was rounded either up or down to the nearest 100 of people. The next one was North Stonington, where there's 1 director and 5,100 basically people are under that one person. But then as you look down the list, well, a lot of these other towns have much more of a staff and to assist their park and rec directors. And like I said at the meeting, not sure if these are part-time people or full-time people. You can't find out that on the website, but it's obvious that there's a need. We had the meeting. There was a no decision at that point, but even Selectman Nozel pointed out that it looks like there's clearly a need for this, and they wanted more particulars about what it would really entail. Now, the finance director, Nicole, said that for the remainder of the year, say like, I don't know, after the holidays or a couple months from now through the spring, that a part-time person could be absorbed by the finances that are available. Okay. And so what I suggested at the meeting to the selectmen was that, okay, I agree, we should work out the exact numbers and particulars of this. So I suggested that the first selectman get together with the chair of the finance committee, Board of Finance, get together selectmen, Board of Finance, Don Bugby, and Nicole get together and work out the particulars of exactly what it would entail and cost. Mm-hmm. And so that way we would also be ready for next year's budget. And even though there wasn't a decision made, I think it became quite obvious when you looked at these numbers that there's definitely a need and we should be doing something about that. And we're hoping, and I'm hoping, and I feel pretty confident that we will get something done on this. But we need to provide exactly what how many hours and exactly what it's going to cost, and it would be a part-time position, so there would not be any benefits involved or anything.
So who would we provide this to? The selectman's office? Or?
Say what now?
Who do we need to give this information to?
Well, we already did it. We gave it to the selectmen.
But do you have to, the other information that you want to give, like Donnie's got it pretty much in his...
That, I hope what I suggested will be done. A Board of Finance, either the chair or his designated Board of Finance member, either the first selectman or his designated selectman, get together with the finance director and Don Bugby to work on the particulars. And once the particulars are what's entailed in this, I feel confident that it'll get done. I'm not saying when, but so that's my personal opinion, and I think if anybody who saw this or heard the spiel I gave at the selectmen's meeting would be quite obvious that there is the need. Mm-hmm. So we're just asking Don to hang in there a little longer, and we'll see if we can get that done. Now, especially, let's see everything calm down now. The election's over, this and that. Hopefully we get that done.
So then Don's next step is to go, or is it something we do?
This the finance director was there at the meeting, and she put in writing how this could all be accomplished, but the exact numbers weren't there. So I think that's the powers to be. Probably want to see that, okay, before we go forward with that. And so I'm hoping that we'll get a group of people sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas maybe to work on this, so we can get it done hopefully by the beginning of next year. But I'm being hopeful on that. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think we stand a good chance. Anybody have any questions about that? Could you please put this on, attach this? I sent you, Mary Ellen, a copy of this and attach it to the minutes. So anybody...
I'll try. It's just tough. It's not, we only like word stuff.
But this is really important to get the point through.
I know it is.
Yeah, this is
see what I can do. I might be able to actually copy and put it right in the body.
Or somehow put it on a Word document or something, or maybe a couple pages on a Word document, or...
Okay.
Yeah, but I sent you the electronic thing.
I got it.
You can play around with it, okay? Anybody else have anything on part-time assistant? No? Okay, all right. Then moving on, dock repair at Haynes Park. We had a talk with Mr. and Mrs. Fuchs about that.
I have one question on that. I will keep it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Those docks are supposedly under warranty.
Yes.
Okay. If I had a new car that was under warranty, that I paid $50,000 or $39,000, and something went wrong with it constantly, I would assume that I would have to not spend any money out of pocket and fix my own car.
Yeah, I know. We finally got, I asked.
That makes me wonder if we want to give more business to those dock companies for this other thing.
That's why I pointed out that if they're getting another new one and repairing an old one, they're going to have extra sections that they don't need, because the agreement between the town, the school, and the Boathouse Improvement Committee was 2 10-by-60-foot docks. We have one.
Well, I understand that, but they're also spending money every time something comes. Somebody's going to pay to have it delivered.
Well, yeah.
Costing somebody that bought something brand new.
And we finally got, I had asked the facilities director, director of finance, Nicole, if she had a copy of any of this, the warranty or whatever, and she did not, and so I just got the warranty. They sent me the warranty, and it clearly shows in this warranty that the customer is responsible for shipping. They'll give you a new section. But I'm really, I was really surprised that supposedly the best stocks available are springing leaks all the time, and their warranty isn't good for delivery. Because I agree with you.
The warranty lasts?
8 years.
Oh, 8 years.
This company.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised, and I appreciate their volunteer effort to fix the old docks, but we're not gonna just keep on fixing and getting new docks and extend these docks. We don't have to extend the docks, okay? That was done without even Don Bugby being involved, knowing about it. We just happened to walk out there and see that they added 15 feet to one dock, 175 feet long. Okay, anybody have any comments about that? No? Okay, all right, any other new business?
No.
Anybody? No? Hearing none? There's public comment. Is anybody out there in telephone land, public comment wise? No? Hearing none, I say that we'd like to
adjourn.
A motion to adjourn. Who seconded it? Glenn seconded it? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? No, and anyone abstain? No. All right, well, I appreciate it, everybody that spent a little over an hour here, and we'll have a meeting the first Thursday of December. I don't have a calendar what it is, but we'll all get together again then, and...
I think it's December 1st.
December 1st? Oh, I hated those. Sometimes
December 2nd.
December 2nd.
Okay. So the next meeting will be December 2nd, and everybody have a good evening, and I'll see you all in a couple of weeks when I get back. All right, bye.
Thanks. Have a good trip.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.